I've got a client who I've been working with for some time. It's a dude, wanted to lose body fat, get stronger. Over the course of several months, made some progress, recomped a little bit, waist measurements came down a little, made great progress in the gym, technique, in terms of strength, like really solid, but not a lot of weight loss and not necessarily as much body recomposition as you'd expect for what his intake was. And we did something that you and I suggest, I would argue every other week on mentorship Q&As in situations like this, which is I want you to not only send me your food logs every single day for the additional accountability that offers, but I want you to take a picture of every single food that you eat, whether it's I don't care if it's a sip of water, if it's a drink of alcohol, if it's your breakfast, if it's one bite of beef jerky. I want a picture of every single thing that you're eating. And in less than 3 weeks, scales down 8 pounds.
Wow.
And he is crushing. And I don't think he listens to the podcast, but you know who you are and you're dominating if you are listening. I wanted to say killing it there. It's just, but there's an important lesson here, and it isn't like, I think a lot of maybe newer coaches might hear that and be like, oh, like there's a level of dishonesty, or there's a level of, whether it's willful blindness or just mistakes around tracking, because there were a couple of small things that we cleaned up by having picture and food log side by side and asking, was there oil here, butter here? The main takeaway was he was doing a really, really good job during the week. And then there were a few meals out where he wasn't tracking them, and they were much, much higher calorie meals than he would have expected them to be not tracking them. And so the simple act of, and it's a real commitment on the client side, but it works, taking a picture of every single thing you're eating and emailing it to a coach for accountability.
So did he email it and then you were like, bro, that's a fucking huge meal? Or was he like, you know what, I'm not going to eat this because I have to take a picture?
I said that I wanted to help him plan what he was going to get at any restaurant if he could let me know at least a day in advance.
Okay.
And I believe it was Friday of the first week. I might be wrong on this, but he said, I want to go to Benihana tomorrow night or tonight. I don't remember. And I said, cool. Like, what are you planning on getting? And we started going through and he told me what he was planning on getting. And I know Benihana extremely well. So I started asking questions like, okay, well, will you get, like the shrimp appetizer that comes with it? Will you get the miso soup and the salad? Will you get fried rice or go with white rice? Like, will you get a sushi appetizer? Will it be actual sushi or sashimi or a roll? If it's a roll, what kind of roll will it be? Ice cream at the end that comes with it. And going through everything and knowing like the amount of oil they put on their vegetables, the amount of butter they slap on when they're making the fried rice.
Bro, the fried rice is so good. So much butter.
A pretty casual meal at Benihana that seems like, an app with a little soup and scallops and chicken with vegetables and some rice. It seems like a reasonable meal is actually a 3,000 plus calorie meal.
Mm-hmm.
And so identifying that, and I said, go to Benihana, but probably skip this or have this instead of this, and had some suggestions. And the next day he said, I just decided not to go to Benihana. Sent me his picture of his normal meal that he made. And that was that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday goes by. But then the next week he picked a different restaurant. And when he went to that restaurant, got lower calorie things. They had calories on the menu, sent pictures of everything, basically is more mindful around tracking and choosing which restaurant he's eating out at. And yeah.
Was he going to Benihana with people or just by himself?
With someone.
Got it. Okay. And he was like, yeah, never mind. Got it. I mean, good for him. That's amazing. I love that. And that's just super good coaching too, of just being like, all right, let's take the pictures. And then it's not just like sending pictures, but also just the real time all right, here are your options. This is what's going to happen. Like, here's what you can do instead. Like, there are it was a really good example of very high quality coaching where so much of quote unquote macros coaching done nowadays is where people are like, all right, just here's what you eat, here's how much, and then they let you go. But they don't talk about the planning, the discussion, the research that the coach has to do. Like, I think that was a really good example of what a good coach is going to do.
Thank you, Jordan.